very happy today to have a educator, mom, a hairdresser, and a leader in our industry. Welcome, everyone. Paula Hibbard.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. It's just wonderful. It's just great to be in your space.
Oh my God. You guys have no idea how I'm dreaming with this.
Oh,
I'm dreaming
you're
because
crazy.
No. Literally, I'm a fan. And
Thank
this
you.
is me being a fan of you because
love
you've
it.
been a leader in this industry. I've seen you in events since I started here. And I've been, wow, this woman is amazing. Your energy level around you is so fun, and you make
you.
the whole space line up. And I just love the fact that you have this on your personality and on your career side. You are great. So thank you so much for coming to our podcast.
Absolute pleasure. And it's so exciting to be on a podcast. I'd have to say, I think this is my first studio podcast. I do feel very radio-like. It's very exciting. Yeah.
We try. This
It's
is our
awesome.
second podcast, by the way.
Oh.
And my other half, which is Sarah's, not in today.
Yes.
You would love her. But I'm going to make sure that this podcast is fun as well with me.
It will be great. It will be absolutely fantastic.
Paula, I would love to understand about where the sparkle for hairdressing came into your life, and a little bit more about where this desire of touching hair and transforming lives came into your life.
I think it's probably something that I've had my whole life because my mum was a hairdresser, and mum always had passion for people, always had passion for hair, and she was a very good award-winning hairdresser as well. So I guess that's where it started, and I actually went for my first job interview in my school uniform. So yeah, and as a tea and tidy, because back in my day, let's hide. Yeah, let's not talk about how long ago that was. But back in my day, it was tea and tidy. That's sort of how you began. And a tea and tidy was literally someone who did tea, coffee, and tidied up.
That's incredible. I feel that the journey of becoming a hairdresser starts on the desire of to see the sparkle on clients' hair.
Absolutely. And
I think that's what touched me the most in the beginning.
Yeah, and I think also for me, it was about the joy of making someone feel and look amazing. But it was about the feel as well because, and you probably, if I think back, it was probably not something that I went, okay, I want to make people feel good. It was more about I want to cut hair, I want to change colours, I want to do all of that sort of stuff. But as you grow as a hairdresser, I think the most exciting thing is that you move to the feel side of it. You move to what I'm doing is actually literally making this woman feel better. She walks out of this place, wherever it is, whether it be in my case now, out of a hotel room, out of her house to go get married, a formal girl off to her formal, whether it be even now I'm one day in a salon. Whatever I'm doing, they feel good. And that's what it's all about.
And on me being a NANOPLASTY specialist and an educator as well, this is the sparkle that I get when I finish somebody's hair, and I still get excited. Every time I have someone behind the chair, I feel like now it's my opportunity to make this woman feels amazing.
Yes,
and every time we do it, I feel like, okay, I've done everything that I could for the day. Now, Paula, I would love to know, you have 2 kids, right?
Yes.
Not much kids anymore.
No, they're not. So they're both adults and both absolutely amazing. I think if you were to say to me, what's the greatest thing you've ever done in your life, I have to say, sorry to the husband, but it's being a mum. Every day. They and even now at 21 and 24, they make me feel amazing. They still tell me how much they love me. They still ring me regularly. But I think being a mum, yes, biggest challenge you'll ever do.
Yes.
But I have to say, as you know, best thing you'll ever do.
That's so beautiful. You know what? Because I feel that the days that we are living now, there is a big pressure on career. You need to be the best on your career. You need to be this. You need to be there. You need to award this, blah, blah, blah. And we start forgetting about what is so important, which is raising human beings.
Absolutely. And I think that we need to raise them to be the future. And for me, that's what it was about. And I even said to you at lunch today that I think that these times between sort of like birth until I reckon probably about 10, they're still constantly changing. Daily they learn a new word, they write something, they learn to ride a bike, and the list goes on. Whereas my boys now, they go away for a month overseas or 12 months. They learn stuff, but they don't change necessarily. And so I think my advice to any mums is be with your kids as much as you possibly can in the first 10 years because you can't get them back again.
I know. And I feel the pressure because my kids
sure
are 5. I got twins.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yes. And they're 5 years old now and I feel the pressure. But I feel that was very challenging in the beginning because I was starting a company with my 2 kids breastfeeding. So I had the pressure of, oh my God, I need to grow because if I don't grow, other companies will grow and blah, blah, blah. Until the day that I said, you know what? Companies will be there. My product will be there. But my kids will go.
Yes.
And they will grow.
Yes.
And if I don't do it now, I can't go back to this time. I just can't. So I want to know from you, how it was for you to have 2 kids in the middle of this career that was still growing and the awards that you got. I want to know, how was you in the middle of all this? How you handle all that?
Look, I'd have to say I'm truly grateful for an amazing husband and big shout out to him because he was there when I couldn't be. And I was there when he couldn't be because he works for Qantas. So he flies and so he'd be away for days. I might go away for days. He'd be away, So we basically, for a long time, were ships in the night, but our kids had us. It was either him or it was me. So that was really important. I think they just became, they were an asset. They weren't an appendage. So I think that that's the most important thing as well. So when we went out to dinner, they were there. When we went on holidays, they were there. And people would say, oh, you're going to get a baby? No. And I think that maybe what that did was actually bred the humans that I have now, which are amazing. I remember them both coming to one of my first ever shows and I was on stage. And I came down and my Max, I remember him looking at me going, wow, Mum, you're really good.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, and I think he was, I'd have to say probably 12 or something like that.
I got emotional.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So cute.
Yeah. But then on the other hand, you can get dressed with boys and let me put this into perspective for you and you can come out thinking you look absolutely fabulous and then they can go, so, you're thinking about wearing that? Yeah, well, I was. Obviously, I'm not now. So, there's fun.
The honesty.
The honesty of boys
it's incredible.
Absolutely incredible. But I think going back to your question, yes, it was hard. There were days where I was away for them. But I had probably a sabbatical of 4 years. And I lived overseas and that was absolutely fantastic because I actually got the opportunity to be a mum and sort of the world travelled on. But I came back and...
How old they were when you went overseas?
So Max was 16 months and Jack was 4 years.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I got that precious time for 4 years then. But then when we came back, it was hit the ground running because I had to revamp what I'd basically lost in the 4-year period. Yeah. But no, it's great.
That's amazing. I hear these stories of mothers that are full-time mothers, and I mean full-time, the fact that you are present in your kids' education, in your kids' events and etc., and you still grow your career. You have the balance. I love that. Because I will be honest with you, sometimes the life gets so busy that you feel like I need to be one full. Otherwise, I can't. You just can't. Your mind can't handle the pressure and everything that cross to the minds. I feel that sometimes I don't get off. I cannot take the work off of my mind. But then when I see that I need to be a mother and I need to be there and I turn it off that button and I am fully present in what they're doing, I feel like, okay, I'm juggling. But I don't want to in the back of my head feel I'm losing or, I'm falling behind because of that. Because at the end of the day, I'm winning in both of the sides. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think the bonus with having your own business and, having my own business, since before the children were born, was a bonus because if there was a sports day or there was an award or there was, anything, mother's morning tea or whatever that was, I could actually be there and look I'm probably to the very scariness of my children. Sometimes that was, oh my God, mum's here, like how embarrassment. But I remember one time I went to an awards thing at the primary school, and I'm just giving you a warning on this one because I was so they'd said, oh, Max or Jack, I can't remember who it was, has won something, like they'd won an award of something. And so, of course, my husband and we just stood up and we went, yes, and we're cheering. Anyway, then we sat down and the principal gets up and he goes, we'll just hold all the clapping until after the last child has got their award. God. And poor Max is just like, he's like, oh my God, let the stage just swallow me up. That was my mother and father, But
that would be me, absolutely me.
Yeah, well, exactly. We were talking about partying at lunchtime, yes. So, but just be warned, wait till the end.
I will probably not listen to this advice. I'll be like, go, Zion, go, Liz.
Look,
in the middle of the
it
party.
Was just, so anyway.
Also, now you are part of every event of hair that I know the name in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Every event, I know that you are there. And that's why I was so honored to have you part of the glam that it's going to happen. And by the way, if you don't know what glam is, it's the event that it's going to happen in September 2025, by the way, if they watch this podcast later on. It's September 25.
21, actually. September 21.
September 21 of
25.
25.
Yes.
And it's going to be the best nanoplasty event of Australia. And Paula is our MC. So we are so excited. But I want to know now a bit of the backstage of the other events. How is the pressure? And there is any funny stories about being the backstage? Or I would love to understand and dive a little bit into this environment.
Well, look, I think being on stage is, for me, one of those things where I love it. I love it. And I love making people feel comfortable on stage because I think that sometimes people and we just go, oh, we're going on stage and everybody's like, oh my God, what am I going to say? Da, 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 da. And so I think my role in that is to make people feel comfortable, to answer the questions that I know as a hairdresser, what I want to know about nanoplasty. So, I remember asking you when I first met you, asking you a few questions where I was like, is this just like, you get the board out and the talc and powder and the perm solution and, that's what I grew up with. But no, it's not. It's actually an amazing product that you can use on anyone's hair. And I think that for me is an important thing. Backstage, I think, is hilarious because there is a whole lot of crapola that just goes down. There's, microphones don't work. Lighting isn't happening. I remember having to go on stage once myself and I'd had this whole outfit planned. I just felt, oh yes, I'm going to wear that, and it was all hanging up and everything. So it got down to the nitty gritty. Models are all lined up. They're all ready to go. And anyway, I got on stage and I'm in half the outfit because I hadn't got the rest of it done. No one else would have known except me. But I went on stage and I'm like, I'm so in the wrong shoes. I've got the pants are too long because the shoes are too short. And, and it's just like absolute craziness, and you're sort of going, and you're thinking
you have to
to yourself,
pretend.
Yeah.
Everything looks fine.
Everything looks fine. Everything is okay. I remember there was a situation where, I've been on stage and had to prepare things for people like Benny Togdini and, and us having models that he had, and they were in these most amazing pieces of art. Yep. They were metal pieces of art. This is going back pre-children, so this is a really long time ago. And I remember that this poor girl had done the walk on stage, but she had her she had this skirt on and she had her ladies' things and yes, and there was something that shouldn't have been there, and I spotted it and I was like, we just had to fix it. Like it was like we had to deal with this. And that's like, I'm the mother. You know what I mean? Like I'm having to deal with this. I'm the mother in this circumstance. And so I think your mothering comes into that at that stage. Benny and I still laugh about it because, it was like one of those things well, exactly. Like it's those things that you just go, everything can happen.
Yeah. And when it happens and you have to deal, have you ever dealt with a situation of someone, I don't know, giving you a bad response or going off at you and you have to be like, I'm going to kill you after.
Yeah, we actually shouldn't have talked about that. I think it's when people actually mention the wrong company.
Oh, my God.
Because they sort of, they float around and, they might be working with this company at one stage, but then they're going off to work on this company and they've gone, when I was working with, and they'll say it and it's like, oh, so you're talking about when you were working with CPR, like that's and I'm sort of the one that's sort of correcting them and they've gone bright red at that point because they've, gone through the whole process of saying the wrong company.
Oh, my God.
It's a hard one with that. I think the thing is when people like models fall over on stage, the shoes are too tall. I remember being backstage for a show for the awards, the AHIAs, and we had models didn't have any shoes.
What?
Well, because the shoes had broken and they couldn't walk in them and all of that. And we are seconds from going on. And there's this mad panic of people going, oh, my God, well, she's just going to have to go. No, she can't go out in bare feet, And so there's this moment of, and craziness. And then it goes on. It happens we've been all day doing this. Happens for maybe 2 minutes. They all come off. We undress them and it's all over.
I know.
And it's just like, we went through that craziness, but we produced this and it was amazing.
Do you have any rituals or anything that you do before, like counting to 3, jump like Tony Robbins and say, let's go, or something that you do after to process everything? Because I love the stage as well. You know that. I love the stage. But there is something in the stage that I'm going to say in a secret that even my team doesn't know. I can't hide frustration.
No.
Sorry.
No.
I'm like, something happened. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I can't. And it's something that I need to work on because frustration is something quite common in events, right? So there is any ritual or anything that you do to avoid changing the face to like, get me out of here.
I think probably one of the things that I started to think was what's the worst that can happen? Mm-hmm. Because I think when you think, what is the worst? Like really, what is the worst thing that can happen in this moment? And you go, oh, okay, well, if that's the worst thing, then I'm actually okay. I tend to take moment for myself. I tend to sort of step away, just breathe. I like to be prepared. So I like to have my mic check done. I like to have be in the right clothes, be comfortable. And go to the toilet.
That's so true. Oh
my God. There's nothing worse than needing to go to the toilet and you're fully into your first 25 minutes of a, and you're on stage and your brain's meant to be thinking, how am I putting this bobby pin in? But you're actually thinking, I think I'm going to pee my pants,
and especially after pregnancies.
Well, yes, exactly.
And you're like, when your brain says, you can hold 15 seconds and your bladder says, no,
I can't do that anymore. And I think even now, like, because I'm now in that sort of menopausal stage, it was when I was having those sort of whole hot
flashes.
Oh my
God.
And I'm like, I remember having clients who'd say, oh my God, can you take the cape off? I'm so hot. And I'd be like, really? Do we need such a drama about it? Yeah, you do.
Oh my God.
I'm in that moment now and I'm like, okay, yeah, it might be the middle of winter, but I needed to be in a strappy number because, you know, I could feel, and the sweat sort of, you can feel it running down the middle of your back, and then it sort of heads down into your undies, and you're just thinking, oh my goodness, please don't run down my leg and onto the floor because that's not going to look good. But look.
Oh my goodness, this is so funny because my mom is going through that.
Oh.
And I just traveled with her 2 days ago, and I saw the button of the air. All of a sudden. And I was like, okay, Mom. It's like, you don't understand. You don't understand. And I said, okay, I'm going to shut my mouth because one day
you will understand. Exactly. And now I am so appreciative of air conditioning and, you know, cotton and linen. I think it's absolutely amazing. Look, it's fun talking about it. And I think the thing is that the more prepared you are, the less chance you've got of things coming undone. And I know with Glam, we are so prepared. I'm so excited.
I've been telling you stories. I think you heard a bit of everybody's lives.
Yeah.
For on the day you'll be able to, if something happened, you at least have something to comment about. And
oh, absolutely. And I think too, I mean, hosting your first event, wow.
Oh my God.
Tell me about your nerves for that.
I am freaking out. You know, we've been doing Glam in other countries, but you know, when you do your own wedding,
yes,
you know what I mean? You do everybody's wedding, fine. But when you do your own,
absolutely.
I feel like that. I feel that we're doing our first, the birthday of my first child.
Yes.
And this feels all the, you know, the shimmers in my heart and all this. Oh, I just feel so excited. I can't think about anything else because I think it's going to be something amazing for the company as well. You know, I think we'll be able to expose more because let me tell everyone that is hearing me something incredible. This woman that you have in front of you, she's incredible. She said, I want to have the solution on my head because I want to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. And I love this attitude. I feel that this is the goal. You know, obviously I wouldn't force her to do it. But when she say yes, and I say, okay, yes, let's do it. Now, can you understand the hype?
Oh, I totally can understand the hype. And look, when I was thinking about it and, you know, I went out on a limb and I said, do you think you can, and like, let's put it into perspective here for all the hairdressers out there. I have been, you know, I am 12% 40 vol with, you know, a lightning, you know, and a high lift blonde and have been, and I've also got a couple of foils in there occasionally as well in the days. And so for me, you know, if someone said they were going to perm my hair, I'd be just like, oh man, I'll be wearing a pixie after this. But, and I must admit, when I was driving here, I was, a tad anxious and a tad nervous about it. But I was like, you know what? It's okay. I can probably rock a French bob or a pixie. It will be fine. But no, look at me. I am not rocking a pixie or a French bob. I am looking amazing. And I just, honestly, I am totally blown away. It's like, yes, OMG, oh my God, it is incredible. And the colour has stayed beautiful. And that was, again, another fear because there's myths out there. Yeah. But as I said to you, you've busted all the myths, babe. Like it is, you know, I don't say every salon should be doing this because I think it's not for every salon because it's a time thing. However, I think if you have been thinking about it and you've got clients asking for it, get it because it is incredible.
Nanoplasty plays a big role on education because I feel that you can have great source of solution in your hand and you still do wrong with that. So we invest a lot on the education because Nanoplasty plus education, you have a beautiful marriage.
Yes.
You have something incredible in your hands. So your hair is not an easy hair as the complexity of the blonde. But it's not a hard hair either because your hair wasn't damaged or anything like that. And we didn't want to bring the damage that you didn't have, you know what I mean?
No.
So when we finished, she couldn't stop touching her hair. And I
still can't stop touching it. I'm still like in awe. So, and it's wonderful. And I think with the myths, you know, as you're saying, it's education because I say that to people when I'm teaching my long hair is, you know, yes, you can do long hair. And people go, no, I can't. And I said, okay, let me just put it into a little bit of perspective for you. My confidence in doing a full head of foils freaking is as low, right? In a salon situation, I feel like I take too long. I probably talk too much, all of those sort of things. But but for you as the hairdresser out there, you doing a full head of foils, it's like you could do it with your eyes closed, blindfolded. Whereas I say, do you want to do a French roll? And you're like, oh, you've got to be joking. And I'm like, you could line up 20 French rolls for me and I would be more than happy. So education and practice
100%.
is so important.
100%. And we spoke for 40 minutes. Do you believe that?
Already?
I can't believe it.
No, we haven't.
I feel like we just started.
No, we've only just started. So
26? Okay, so you
26.
just showed me 2:53 now?
Yeah,
okay, cool.
That's all right.
All
That's
right.
fine. We'll cut that bit out. But I just think for people to have confidence with their hair, to feel confident as the hairdresser, yes, education. And that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
You married both of them. And for me, I've been educated today. I have found something new and it is amazing. And I think that too for the hairdressing world is find your new, find something that makes you feel good, because the hairdressing industry is made up of not just standing behind the chair and cutting hair.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do and that's your passion, yay, keep going. But if you want to seek something else out that's going to give you confidence, that's going to not make you anxious, that's going to be something that you want to be able to do, then seek that out as well and
100%.
find your peeps that can help you with that.
And being a specialist, Paula, on styling and also bridal,
yes.
How do you feel about the confidence of the hairdresser in your niche? Because on my niche, for example, I face a lot of hairdressers that once we build the confidence with them within nanoplasty, we build the confidence with anything else. And I feel that the salon boom.
Yes.
There is a hairdresser. She's in New Zealand. Not only her, but I remember her right now from the back of my head. She was a hairdresser before nanoplasty. After nanoplasty coming into her life, she's now recognized everywhere. Everyone knows her name. Not only for nanoplasty, for everything else.
Yes.
I think she learned that she can understand very well about something and sell it really well. On your niche, do you feel that the hairdressers lack as well on confidence? And
Absolutely.
also as an educator, what is your role with them?
I think my role is helping them to understand, and I think this is the same with nanoplasty, believe it or not, but it's making them helping them to understand that it's a process. It's an A, B, C, D process. It doesn't need to be, complicated. Break it down. Make it simple. And that's what I found today. This was broken down. There are 3 options for me. Which one would you suggest would be the best option? That option's given to me, and then I'm moving on. And I think from the hairdresser's point of view, there needs to be a level of, and how do I say this? There needs to be a level of you realizing that you are the professional in this situation. You know hair. You know what it should do. You know what it shouldn't do. You know how you can make it better, how you can make it teased, or how you can curl it, or how you can make it more relaxed. You know this stuff, own it.
Exactly.
And that's the important. And if you don't know it, find out how to know it so that you can then say to your client, in my professional opinion, I think you should.
Exactly.
And because the client comes to you I go to a doctor, and I go to a doctor because I don't know how to diagnose what's going on with me. So I go to a doctor and I say, I've got A, B, C, D. And she says, well, Paula, you need to do this, this, and this. And I go, oh, okay. So I go and I do that. I don't even think. All I do is I go to the chemist and I go, okay, my doctors actually said this to me.
Exactly.
The same thing goes for you with your client. You are the one that's going to help them go, okay, you know what? Nanoplasty is for you. This is going to help you be able to just get up in the mornings. Your work world is crazy. If we do this for you, you are going to get up in the morning. You're just going to shampoo it. You're going to shake it, put a little bit of your oil through it. Off you go. In the car, you're done and you look amazing. So I think that those things, people need to understand that as a hairdresser, you are the only one who can give that advice.
Exactly. You are the hair doctor.
You
the hair
are
specialist.
the hair doctor. Exactly. And I was, as I said to you, Sarah was amazing with me today.
Sarah, by the way, is our technician in New South Wales, and she was the one starting the hair when Paula arrived, and that's why she's mentioning about her.
And it was just incredible because she gave me the options. But the other thing is what was really important to me is why. Mm-hmm. Why are you putting that on?
Yes.
Why are you doing that?
Yes.
Why do you want to do that? And for me, I'm not a big question asker, but there's a lot of people out there that questions need to be answered. So be knowledgeable.
And you were not asking from the point of a hairdresser.
No.
You were asking from the point of view of a client. Because what I feel the most is hairdresser has a big power in the hand. We are touching in something that is the frame of the face of somebody.
Yep.
More than the smile, the hair counts a lot. Someone with the hair looking good, they feel confident to face a war. Mm-hmm. So what we're treating them is something very important. We have two ways of doing that. They can sit on the chair, we do everything, we don't care how they feel or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Or we explain the whole thing from a point of view of a client. Mm-hmm. Because you know what I face in my industry, in my niche actually, Paula? The technicality.
Yep.
Clients don't need to know about the technicality of the pH of this and the science behind. They don't care.
No.
What they care is, are you going to make me look better than when I came in? If you are, I'm happy. Yep. And if you give them the steps and why, you're giving them 10 points more than what they were expecting.
Absolutely. And I think it's offering them different every time they come in. People go, oh, why did this client leave me? Well, the reason the client leaves you is there's a percentage of them that leave because they've moved countries or they've moved states or they've moved suburbs in Sydney. That's generally why, it's a long way to get to somewhere. But if they and then they might leave because, their son has married a hairdresser. There's lots of other little reasons. But there's a very high percentage of people that will leave because they are not getting more. So that question every time you say, hey, why don't we have you thought about some few foils in with your tint? Have you thought about, why don't we go this length? Because those things help them to go, she cares about me.
Exactly. And what is the percentage of people that sits in your chair and they don't know what they want? And they're expecting you to know. And sometimes we feel offended. We should feel like they're trusting us more than what they trust them.
Absolutely.
They're asking you because they trust you more than what they trust in themselves.
Yeah.
So I feel honored. Okay, do you want my opinion? In my opinion, this is going to look amazing on you. Because I've seen in so many different heads, I know that your style, your type is going to look amazing. Absolutely. I feel very honored when they ask my opinion because they know that I'm the specialist there. Mm-hmm. And they trust me more than what they trust in themselves,
And I think the older I've got, the more honest I've become. I think it's sort of like, well, if you want to take what I'm saying, great. If you don't, it doesn't matter. And I know when you are young in the industry, there is that being sort of slapped in the face probably, and the client goes, no, I don't want that. Well, don't put your ego on ice. It's not about you in this situation. It's actually just about the client just doesn't feel like that today.
Yes.
So don't worry. Offer it next time, because if you genuinely think that that's what the client should have, then write it on their card.
Exactly.
Offer it to them next time or come up with something else in that process.
Exactly.
And that to me is really, really important, because we as hairdressers need to be able to say to someone, and I have, probably more so in the last years than before, because I know as a young one it's very scary. But I've been able to say, no, you're going to look like a 12-year-old if you wear your hair like that on a 60-year-old woman. And if she still wants it after I've said that, that's fine. I'm happy to do it. But she then generally says, what do you think will make me look better? And I'll go, oh, well, I think you should do blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
And
especially because we change doctors, but we don't change hairdressers.
No.
If we change hairdressers, there is a big reason for that.
Yes.
We travel to see hairdressers.
Yes.
And we don't like to change hairdressers. When we have to, we don't go like, oh, that's exciting. I'm going to meet a new hairdresser. You're like, seriously, why?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, how I'm going to look at the end.
Exactly, because you're scared. I mean, I was scared today.
That's so. But you know what, Paula?
How amazing do I look though? Excuse me.
This feeling, the skeptical feeling, it's something that my company is so used to.
Yeah.
Because imagine you implementing something new for a country. We always compare this to Botox. Imagine when Botox came alive. And they said, I've got something amazing that is going to make your face look amazing. Can I test on you?
Yeah,
and
can I
you're
stick needles in you?
No. Obviously, I'm going to say no. You're going to test something with needles in my face?
Yeah.
What about if it goes wrong?
Exactly.
You know, so this was me and Samuel trying to say, I've got something incredible. Okay, test on her.
Yeah.
Later on, you tell me how it looks.
Can we use it on my dog or something like that? You know,
on the horse.
On the horse.
So
move out my horse's tail.
Try and then let me know how it go. So we felt like that in the beginning. So the skeptical feeling, as I say to you, all my technicians were skeptical, and they came from the skeptical to advocate.
Oh, I'm
Lover.
totally advocate. I'm like, every second person's going to be having nanoplasty now, and I've just got to find out where to send them. So I think it's absolutely amazing. And my advice to you all out there is find, obviously, Floractive is my jam, but find out that what you're using is the right thing. If you're having difficulty with it, find out why.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the most important thing.
If it's Floractive, I can tell you the reason. I can master what you're doing wrong.
Absolutely.
If it's not Floractive, too bad.
Yeah. Exactly. Buy Floractive.
Oh, exactly.
So awesome.
Paula, we had a nice chat.
And it's been wonderful.
I know we've been having nice chats here and there because of the glam. And I feel like after the glam, I will need to bother you with something else.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be so much fun.
It was so good, you know, the time with you and learning with you. I know that you are a leader in your industry.
Thank you.
You've been doing this emceeing for so many events where I've been watching and feeling inspired by. So I know that a lot of people that look at you said, wow, she's been everywhere and she talks so freely, especially for hairdressers, because we kind of on the stage every day with the client. Mm-hmm. But we need to be, sometimes we're shy, sometimes we don't have all this, you know, outspoken as you are. And I feel that they look at you and get inspired. Oh, how she can be so natural in front of people and can handle pressure so well. So thank you so much for inspiring us.
The thing for me is that our industry is so wonderful.
Yes.
I love it. I'm so passionate about it. And I just love working alongside beautiful, passionate people like yourself.
Oh, thank you so much.
My
pleasure. If you have one advice for someone that is starting right now and they don't know where to go, which line they should follow, what would you say for this apprentice that are watching us right now?
I think my biggest advice is just do it. What's the worst that can happen?
That's amazing. I'm going to have that in my life. What's the worst that could happen? I'm going to use that. Thank you so much, Paula. It was a pleasure to have you here today. And I can't wait to have you at the Glam.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for watching us today. And please subscribe to our channel. We're going to have many amazing people like Paula on this podcast. And I can't wait to see you on the next NANOPLASTY podcast. Bye.